We now return to our regularly scheduled program. The Doofy Doo Doctor of Shiren the Wanderer, episode 93, already in progress. Hi there, Wanderers! It is I, Doofy Doo. Oh yeah, I left myself a critical turn last week. Thanks a lot, past Doofy. I'm just gonna press the Cairo, try to take this guy out. What can he make me do? Oh no, he made me use the last press on my Cairo. That kind of sucks. Will that be a fatal mistake? Find out next floor. This episode, I am finally gonna compare women. Oh no, another one. What the heck? What can he do now? Make me eat more rice balls? I don't care. I got tons of rice balls. Didn't do anything interesting. I know you've been waiting a long time for this. What? You've forgotten it's been so long? Oh no. Someone's trapped. Luckily, I'm close to the door. Think I'll be okay. Yeah, go ahead and do your dance. I don't care. I got tons of rice balls. Let's see who's behind him. Surprised he didn't go under me. I guess there's nobody else back there. Hello, hello, Mr. Death Reaper. Hello. Alright, I guess he ran off. Oh, there he is. Yeah, so the process of looking for your soulmate is a lot like the process of identifying a jar in Faye's final puzzle. How, you ask? Well, this episode I will get into that. And I am going to be talking about women and jars. If you are not interested in women, then replace the word women with men or just relationships. You can just imagine I'm comparing relationships to jars. But I'm going to use the word women because that is what I have experience with. Now, no Kairos left. Is this where I regret fighting that stupid Lilac? Let's see. Oh, we missed. Whew. Alright. Ooh, pimp slapped. That's not good. Come and face me, Skull Mage. Alright, then run away. What is the first step you do when you're identifying a jar? First step is that you press it and see if you have a holding jar. And I'm not saying you should immediately press the woman you're interested in, although physical contact is a nice way to let them know that you're interested. Hey, my armband prevented sleep. So this is a sleepless armband. Sleepless armband is really, really important. It's not essential, but it helps a lot in getting through the middle part of Faye's final puzzle. I will name it the Pimp Slap Armband because when I'm about to fall asleep, a magical hand comes out of the armband and slaps me awake. There's some days I wish I had one of those. Once again, brilliant naming by Doofy Doo. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, don't necessarily, I'm not making this comparison literally, like you don't literally press on the person you're interested in, obviously. But what is a holding jar similar to when it comes to relationships with women? A holding jar is kind of, or not a holding jar, a hiding jar. Let's get those mixed up. Hiding jar is akin, Farfignugan, Pitfall Trap. This is not a good time. Pitfall traps early in Faye's final puzzle are really, really dangerous because you get, suddenly you're like under-leveled by a ton. Hiding jar is kind of like having a crush on someone you don't know. So it's really easy on YouTube to develop like an internet crush. This is super embarrassing, but a couple years ago, I actually had an internet crush on Grace Helbig of The Daily Grace and now some other show. I don't know, I stopped watching. I think, this is a change jar. That's cool. I think every geeky guy who's a little bit awkward and shy, whenever they see someone attractive and geeky on YouTube, they're like, oh, she's so awkward and funny and beautiful. Oh, we would make the perfect couple. And that's what happened with Daily Grace. Also, I think the irritable bowel syndrome. IBS, totally the new black. Mega hot. But, what happens when you have a crush on someone? And it doesn't have to be an internet crush, you know, someone when you're a teenager and you think there's someone who's completely out of your league. You're like, man, she's so hot, or oh, he's so dreamy, but she would never date me. And you have sort of an imaginary relationship with them. That's pretty much akin to a hiding jar. Have anything else for this change jar? No. Do have a lot of scrolls though, so that's pretty sweet. That sounds a little depressing, but you know, sometimes you need to escape into fantasy. There's nothing wrong with having crushes. Even adults have crushes on celebrities, obviously. If you ever read any comment threads underneath pictures, you can see that. But if you never progress beyond that stage, you're always sort of having imaginary relationships. Obviously, that's not healthy. You can't just hide away from the real world. You need to move beyond that. Isn't that right, Roid Kitty? So, what do you do after you have eliminated a possible... This Drain Buster actually will come in handy if I run into any low-poly dancers. I'm gonna hunt down... Oh. Yeah, it's not really worth it, because the turn it would take me to equip the Drain Buster. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave the Air Slayer on. Well, I'll go ahead and put it on. Alright, you can see I can one-hit any Drain monsters with the Drain Buster on, but the Air Slayer usually is more useful. The next step is you shove something into the jar. And again, not saying you should literally shove things into people you're interested in. Although, hey, shop. Although, obviously, that is what some people do. Spiky Bomb, why you gotta be in the shop? I'm gonna get you out of there so you don't blow up any precious loot. It would be so evil if the shopkeeper made you pay for loot that the monsters destroyed. That would just be complete skullduggery. Oh no. You know what? Screw it. I think I'm just gonna attack it. I think if I equip a sword, I should be able to kill it. Come on. Oh yeah. Alright, a Cyclops killer. I can technically afford it, but I think I should probably go for something more useful. Another Cairo. Hey, possible strengthening jar already. One down, two to go. Yeah, but anyway. What is a jar? Fundamentally, a jar is something that you put something into and you get something out of. And the relative value of those two things determines the value of the jar. And that's kind of what a woman is, or a relationship with a woman is. You put things into the relationship, you invest into this woman that you are involved with. What do you put in? You put in thoughts, memories, feelings, your time, your work, attention, sex, obviously, physical affection, also known as snuggles. So you put all those things in, and you get something out of it, hopefully. And what you get out and what you put in kind of determines the flavor of the relationship. So, so I can sell my gold shield, get some more moolah. Yeah, I don't know. Cyclops Killer is kind of useful to kill burly smurfs, but it's not really that essential. You know, obviously it helps you get through shenanigans with Lelix and Chainheads early on, but I would prefer to actually, I think, buy a Cairo and maybe that staff. It's really important to ID staffs. That's what I really would like to focus on. So, I'm gonna get the Cairo, Cypress staff. I don't remember what kind of staff this could be, but whatever. I'll pick it up. So what's the most basic relationship with a woman? You put something in, and you get exactly the same thing out. So that is the equivalent of a holding jar. A holding jar woman is kind of like a friendship, you know, it's a meeting of equals. You put in exactly what you get out. And there's nothing wrong with friendships. I'm going to go on a little mini rant here, but a lot of guys, I notice nowadays, complain about being friend zoned. Like, oh, I wanted to have sex with this lady, but they always friend zoned me. And now I'm stuck with this friend. There's nothing wrong with having friends. Nothing wrong with having holding jars. Holding jars, not sexy, but they're useful. They help you out. Sometimes you just need someone to bounce thoughts and feelings off of and know that you'll get an equal investment from the other side. So, I don't know. And just as a clue for people who claim to be nice guys, if you're only nice to the women you want to have sex with, you are not a nice guy. You think you are, but you're not. You're supposed to be nice to everyone if you're nice. That's another similarity to the way you treat jars in Shiren the Wanderer. It's impossible in Phase Final Puzzle to tell the value of a jar just from its physical appearance. You have to respect all the jars in the beginning because you don't know the value of the jar right away. In the same way, when you meet a woman, you need to be nice to them, period. Not just nice to the ones that look interesting or look like women you would be physically attracted to. Because, I mean, first of all, it's just being a jerk if you're only nice to people you want something from. And second of all, people notice that, you know? People aren't stupid. They're like, hey, that guy's a jerk to everyone except the ladies he wants to bang. And yet he keeps telling everyone he's a nice guy. No, you're not a nice guy. Also, you shouldn't really be nice to someone. I think I had a pointless jar. That's why I called it the full retard. I'll get to the pointless jar in a sec. But you shouldn't really be nice to people just because you expect them to pay you back. You know, you can tell that in their tone sometimes. They're like, I was so nice to this lady. I gave her, do her lots of favors. I'm always there for her. I give her great gifts. She won't have sex with me. Yeah, you dumbass. It's not like a quid pro quo system. At least it shouldn't be among rational human beings. You know how you let a woman know you're interested in them? You don't treat them special. You just tell them. You ask them out on a date. So, I don't know. It makes me mad when guys complain about being friend zoned. Like, oh God, you have a friend. How terrible. And I'm pretty asocial. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't really need a ton of friends. Just 3 or 4 close friends is enough for me. But I realize that the friends have value. And I'm not going to complain because a woman is my friend. Alright, thus ends my rant on phony nice guys. What is another kind of jar past the holding jar? Let's say you put in something into the jar and it changes into something else. I had a couple of those. That is a change jar. A change jar kind of gives you something random. You never know what you're going to get out. So that is the equivalent of a really moody woman. You know, 1 second she could be really nice. Next second she could be just completely insane or incredibly pissed off. And I'm not going to say anything about monthly cycles. This has nothing to do with that, for one thing. And second of all, that's just a boring excuse to give. I'm just going to say that's the woman's personality. She's actually moody. You know, it's not like that happens only every once in a while. So that is not a super healthy relationship because, you know, you never know what you're going to get. Some guys are into that. Not me. I like something a little more stable. Ugh. Fine, landmine, whatever. I'd walk around the other way. What is another kind of jar / woman? There is a jar where if you put something into the jar, it vanishes. And that could be a bottomless jar. A bottomless jar is like a really needy woman. A woman where you keep putting in thoughts and attention and emotion and feeling and work, and she just needs more. She needs more. And you never get much back. It just kind of vanishes. And I think a lot of guys who complain about, oh no, this is not good. Let's see what I have. Doppelganger staff. That should help me out. I think a lot of guys... Ugh. Try it again. No one can kill him now. Oh my god, again. Stop leveling up, dude. Alright. I'll get this guy. Hopefully I can get away with... Oh no. Ah. That reminds me of another valuable lesson from Shiren the Wanderer. Oh, sleepless armband, I never got to use you. The next valuable lesson we learned from that death is don't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. That is insanity. Kept using that doppelganger staff, and Flame Guy kept leveling up. So I'm going to change things up. I seem to be dying to face final puzzle over and over. So I'm going to die somewhere else just to give myself a little break. This is kind of like a cold shower. I'm going to go to Tainted Path. Probably die right away, but hey, at least I'll be dying somewhere different. Let's see, what run was that I just died on? Run number 6. So that means I'll be on run number 7 when I get back. Ooh, getting close to the end. This might be the end. Oh yeah, it didn't attack me. Already living a lot longer than I thought. First enemy I run into though. Oh, hey, the stairs. I actually made it through a floor. What was I talking about before I got summoned trapped to death? Oh yeah, bottomless jar. A lot of guys who complain about getting friend zoned are actually in a relationship with that kind of jar. They give and give and give because they're insecure. They never get anything back, and they just hope for some kind of sloppy seconds. There I go. That's not a friendship. That's not a valuable relationship. You just need to get out of that and stop complaining. But that is kind of like a bottomless jar. The other jar where things disappear is a storehouse jar. Storehouse jar is kind of like a woman who is a gold digger. And there are gold digging men too, gigolos. So women do not have exclusive domain over that label. But, you know, a gold digger, you keep putting in stuff, it goes somewhere, it's not wasted, but you don't really have access to it. And it just, you never get that much in return. It's just kind of like promises, like, oh, I promise you'll get something, just give me more stuff. Alright, I picked up a Razor Wind. Razor Wind, remember, attacks 3 spaces in front of Shiren. It's pretty weak, but very useful to meld if I can just survive. But yeah, storehouse jars and gold diggers, both symbols of insecurity. What are some other jars? Let's see. If you put something into a jar and it doesn't come out, it could be a pointless jar. A pointless jar is kind of like a relationship on the rebound after you break up with someone. Hey! Alright, started right out with an armband of loss, an incontinence armband. So I think I used to call those klutzoids, right? Yep, because I keep dropping stuff. Well, at least it's worth some money. Pointless jar, yeah, it's not totally useless. You can put stuff in and get it out by breaking up with the jar. But it's only after you break up with the woman when you're like, oh yeah, I needed that, but it never really had any long-term potential. So a pointless jar, not worthless, but not super useful. What is another jar you can put things into and not get anything out of? The unbreakable jar. The unbreakable jar is like another famous internet celebrity, the over-attached girlfriend. And speaking of internet crushes, she is pretty good looking too. But the over-attached girlfriend, you just can't break up with it. You throw it away and it doesn't break no matter what you do. And you put things into it and it just takes more and more. You never get it back. So the unbreakable jar, kind of like someone who just won't break up with you, even though they know the relationship is not very useful or healthy. Next jar / relationship. Let's see, what am I at here? 19 minutes. Alright, this will be the last one. Another jar that does not allow you to take things out is Gaibara's jar. Gaibara's jar is like a trophy wife. You know, it's super expensive, it's fancy, everyone can see that it's a nice jar, it's worth a lot of money, but you're not even really that into it, and at some point you're just gonna trade it in for something else that's even better at the shop. So, Gaibara's jar, the equivalent of a trophy wife or trophy husband. Alright, that'll do it for this episode. Next episode, I will go into even more jar women analogies. See, I gave this a lot of thought. Are you impressed? Maybe not. But I will see you then. Goodbye. I'm on the stairs to the next floor. I'm good to go. Now all I need is just to buy this staff I know. My Cairo always saves me if I step on mines. I'm gonna beat this floor tonight. Ah, shit. I just got fried by a flame guy.
Hello, Mr. Death Reaper. Hello.